The Lunaverse by Rainbow Double Dash. Episode 26 by Rainbow Double Dash at the Grand Galloping Gala. Chapter 2 The Duke. Canterlot. Built to the side of Canterlot Horn Mountain, it was not the biggest city in Equestria, but it was one of the oldest, and served as a shining capital of the nation. The mighty Galloping River, which traced its source to the melting snow atop the Canterhorn, bisected the city. Before flowing off to the edge of the cliff the Canterlot was built upon, sparkling blue water plummeting into a lake that lay more than half a mile below. The tallest waterfall in the known world. The city itself was constructed of granite and darkened marble. Its roofs were capped in blues and greens and purples and silver, and held the same glow as the moon. And everywhere, the black blue flag of Equestria, depicting a crescent moon and star holding back a treacherous sun, flew proudly. So, am I going to end up asking the same question as I ask at the show? How big is this city? And just, what are the dimensions of Canterlot? I mean, seriously guys, have you seen the show? Have you seen the way it's shaped? I mean, the first episode alone, you see that Canterlot is built on top of a mountain. But if you look at Twilight, see it's running across several hills and some flat land! Some things, that city don't make any sense. Canterlot was called the Sleepless City. While the individual ponies who lived there did eventually bed down, the city as a whole always had something, at least a third to its half a population awake at any given hour of the day, depending on the time of year. The ruler of Equestria, Princess Luna, took care of the sun instead of her mad sister, but her true passion was for the beauteous night sky, so it was nocturnal by choice, sleeping away the morning and a goodly bit of each afternoon, being that the government in Canterlot also had to be nocturnal if they ever wished to accomplish anything. It followed them that other ponies had to be nocturnal. Courtiers, lobbyists, newspaper journalists looking for an interview, ceremonial guards, librarians, and of course, a number of store owners and restaurateurs who wished to feed all the previous ponies. Needless to say, the city was constantly teetering on the edge of running out of coffee. Duke Greengrass was not in the best of moods, and not solely because he had missed the evening coffee. He had been in a good mood, in fact, but the natural low-level paranoia that being part of the night court bred had a way of killing good moods when he saw Princess Luna speaking into any pony, especially a pony like Fancy Pants, one of Luna's closest confidants, friends, and, Greengrass suspected, a personal spy on the night court. His unease would double if he saw Luna talking to Viceroy Nightlight, arguably the most powerful pony on the night court, and certainly a force to be reckoned with. But most of all, Greengrass's eternal alarms were set off when he came around the corner on his way to the meeting. And he saw Luna talking to both of them. The conversation was not quite whispered, simply kept quiet as the princess trotted through Canterlot Castle's halls. Luna was unaccompanied by her usual entourage of secretaries, adjutants, and even the night guard, leaving Greengrass wondering if she had pulled that split-body trick of hers to get alone time with Fancy and Nightlight, while a doppelganger of her was elsewhere running the country. Into the ground. Greengrass's internal thoughts couldn't help but apprehend. The trio of ponies stopped in the hallway, said at least a few words to each other. Greengrass thought he heard Luna say something to the effect of, "I am disappointed," to Nightlight, but he couldn't be sure. Certainly, neither Luna nor Nightlight seemed to be particularly pleased with one another, nor the direction of the conversation. Fancy Pants, meanwhile, seemed to be his usual jovial self, trying to keep the princess and her viceroy from breaking out into harsher, louder discussion. Fancy Pants liked to play the part of a fool, but no pony could be as vapid as he pretended to be, possibly survive the rigors of night court. Luna and Nightlight parted ways before reaching Greengrass as he continued to trot down the hallway, pretending to take only the cursory interest with tidbits he could overhear, which was, unfortunately, essentially nothing. Fancy Pants followed Nightlight, leaving Luna and Greengrass alone in the hall. The Duke bowed respectfully once Luna was close enough for protocol to demand him to do so. About 20 feet, give or take. "Your Majesty," he greeted as Luna continued her slow trot. "I hope I'm not interrupting, but I don't suppose I missed something important just now." One of Luna's eyebrows arched just slightly. Not much of a betrayal of emotion, but Greengrass understood perfectly, as surprised, that the Duke would attempt to pry into her personal affairs. He had been polite as could be expected while doing so, though. So Luna only shook her head. Nothing of importance, Duke. She informed him. Just a disagreement between old friends. The Duke offered his most consoling smile, falling to step beside Princess Luna once she passed him. I hope the disagreement is resolved quickly, Majesty. And I as well, Luna said. I do not wish to go to the gala and have the general mood of the event ruined. Luna looked at Greengrass. In light of recent events, I feel a sense of normalcy is important to maintain. Luna was referring to, of course, the escape of her mad sister, Elder, and from the millennial imprisonment within the heart of the sun. Corona wanted the throne of Equestria, wanted to reign supreme over all ponydom. 6 months after her escape, and Corona had not yet been captured, nor even seen by any pony. What strikes he had made against Equestria were only a fraction of what she, supposedly more powerful than even Luna, was capable of. Last time any pony in Canterlot had seen her, she had been about to destroy a city, and only fortuitous circumstance had saved it. There was a considerable glare in his eye to live with that knowledge. The Duke could perfectly understand Luna's reasoning. He just didn't agree with it, not entirely in any event, but he kept such thoughts to himself as he and Luna reached another corner. Luna found herself face to face with a deep blue alicorn, wearing the same black crown and royal regalia, a perfect doppelganger of Luna, save that this one was flanked by 2 night guards. Neither Luna slowed down as their horns glowed and their eyes closed. Then they scented to each other, their forms and details becoming indistinct blurs. With a soft flash of light, a moment later, a single Luna manifested, facing Greengrass with eyes closed. Either night guard reacted as the slightest to the display. Greengrass, despite himself, had found that he had stepped back a pace. It was one thing to intellectually know that Luna sometimes split her consciousness up among several bodies. It was another to see it displayed, and so casually at that. When Luna opened her eyes, her face took on a slightly serene look. Perhaps, more likely, a haughty smile. If you'll excuse me, Duke, Luna said, this is the closest to free time I'm lucky to have all week. Was there something you needed to discuss, or? Greengrass shook his head. No, Your Majesty. In fact, I have some business to attend to. With your leave. Luna nodded once. Greengrass turned and left after a final bow of respect. He noted with a degree of interest that it was several moments before Luna's own hostess began echoing down the hall as well. He wondered if she had been simply collecting herself after, well, literally collecting herself, or if she had lingered considering Greengrass respectively. Luna could not only split herself amongst multiple bodies, of course. She could change her appearance as well. Now for the first time, the Duke found himself wandering the limits of the princess's abilities in that regard. Did she perhaps maintain alter egos within Canterlot? Was there a noble in the court who was, in fact, Luna in disguise? Or was he hidden in a more inconspicuous place, as a servant or guard, or some other lowly position? Did she make entire false lives beyond Canterlot Castle walls? Greengrass elected not to pursue that line of thought. Madness lay in that direction, or at least a headache. Instead, he focused on his destination, one of the many side rooms and studies that Canterlot Castle was festooned with, the consequence of a millennia-old castle that was constantly added to and expanded. Any rooms ended up getting lost in the shuffle. Not their location, but certainly not their purpose. When the end happened, they invariably ended up with almost identical appointments. Sitting cushions or couches arranged around a reasonable table, enough space for 6 or 7 ponies in total, with a clock, clothes gem, and a bookcase filled with other excess tomes the Loreal Library wanted to move from its shelves, but didn't quite want to donate yet. The rooms made perfect locations for the clandestine meetings that were the bread and wine of the night court. The Duke found that he had arrived first, despite his hold-up with the princess, though he had scarcely settled down before he was joined by a white unicorn with a blue mane. Prince Blueblood. Prince was his name, not his title, that being the Viscount. The entire Blueblood family had a tendency to name their foals after noble titles, or important positions, always. Greengrass had known of higher rank than the family actually held, though Prince Blueblood represented a particularly high delusion even for that family. When he first had spoken, Greengrass had taken the effort to make himself seem like a stupid, idealistic pony in the prince's eyes, in order to get Blueblood to do what he needed, and the Viscount had fallen for a hook, line, and sinker. That had changed over the past few months, however, when a scheme of Blueblood's had failed rather spectacularly. I mean, a related one undertaken by Greengrass had as well, but it recovered far better, and ended up indebted to the Duke, a situation he no doubt found intolerable, but which he could do little about. Blueblood acknowledged Greengrass with only a nod. The Duke found that to be decidedly unfriendly of him. "Good evening, Viscount," he said brightly. "How are you?" Blueblood almost visibly winced at the Duke civilly. "Just fine, Greengrass, just fine," he said, taking a seat near the room's window. This particular room looked out over the cliff face that Canterlot was set upon, offering a wide view of twilight Equestria. The vast fields and farmlands colored in shades of purple and bright in the sun's fading light. Here and there in the bright lights of a township or other settlements. "If you don't mind," Blueblood said after a moment, taking his hoof, "I hope we can make this meeting a short one. I have business to attend to." "You have tailors to torment," Greengrass mentally corrected. Whatever his other faults, arrogance and stupidity, and a healthy scoop of arrogance, Blueblood was, at the end of the day, an excellent example of stallion physique, often considered to be one of the handsomest ponies in Equestria. He was aware of this, and planning to go to the upcoming gala dressed accordingly, which meant that he had hired a virtual army of clothiers and tailors to design his suit. "I don't plan on going for too long," Greengrass assured Blueblood, as Arctic Fisher joined him. Fisher was a straight-clad unicorn with a mane and tail of brown and bluish gray, who sported an impressive thick mustache. He was slightly taller than Blueblood, which made him a fit taller than Greengrass himself. He also scowled an awful lot for a pony with his amount of power and influence in the night court. Fisher didn't offer any kind of nod or greeting. Instead, he was jumped straight to the point. "Well," he gasped, "you called this meeting, Duke. Begin it already." Greengrass pursed his lips. "Not quite," he said, though he did little to settle down more comfortably into the cushions he was sitting on. "We're still waiting for Poussance." Fisher offered a rare smile, though it was laced with sarcastic intent. "Our street is quite busy at the moment attending to personal affairs. She won't be joining us." Greengrass blinked. He said after a moment. "She had her estate connected to the telegraph network, and is too busy playing with it then." Fisher didn't offer a verbal response other than a slight chuckle, which Blueblood and Greengrass both shared. Factory Poussance liked having things, and used their power of position as one of the three viceroys, along with Nightlight and Wallflower, to acquire said things. Or to put it most succinctly, she said she was a greedy old Pegasus who was nevertheless enamored by the new and novel and things that weren't hers. And whenever she acquired something new, she tended to become quite lost in it. She, at least, seemed to use her position to enjoy herself, like Greengrass, but, unlike many on the night court who became too lost in the quagmire of the game to ever look around and just realize the fun that could be had. If not for the fact that Greengrass was going to have to, one day, remove Poussance from the night court, I considered her a role model. "A telegraph, though?" Blueblood asked. "Who needs a personal telegraph?" "Oh, there are many number of advantages, I suppose," Fisher mused as he sat down opposite Greengrass. "None of them, however, relevant to the matter at hoof." Greengrass offered a shrug. There was important business to discuss, he supposed. "By now," he said. Blueblood took a position of his own. "We've all heard the incident in Ponyville, yes, and the details." Blueblood and Fisher both nodded. "Allegedly," Blueblood said, "that zebra minion Coronas placed a curse on the town." "I find it utterly preposterous," Fisher put in. "Only foolish earth pony farmer, superstitions. There's no such thing as a curse, as any unicorn can tell you." "Oh, give me a break. Twilight's already figured that out herself." "You just had to cut it, didn't you, Spell Nexus?" "Of course I did." Greengrass elected not to call up Fister's heavily contained slip they were considering Earth ponies. He instead only looked to Blue Blood, one eyebrow raised. Blue Blood was staring at his own hose, horn glowing slightly as he picked out dirt from it. He realized after a moment that Greengrass was staring at him unexpectedly.
Sorry.
The Duke, through a heroic exertion of will, resisted the urge to roll his eyes.
Curses! Apparently any unicorn can tell me that they're not real.
Blue Blood offered a shrug.
Also, Fister's special talent is magic, he observed. Exactly!
Greengrass eyed Blue Blood, who had returned to pay more attention to his host in the conversation. Whatever, he was an idiot anyway. It doesn't matter much what it was, Greengrass said. Their claim remains the same, and the damage was extensive, to the tune of 900,000 bits. They're asking the REMM for aid, but Viceroy Nightlight has denied them aid. That got Blue Blood's attention, as he had fish looked between one another.
Certainly the Viceroy doesn't think he can get away with that, Visser asked. If it really was an attack. If it really was, Blue Blood noted. That is a rather large if. I am given to understand that Corona's zebra crony escaped. Without her, the town has no proof. The curse is not real, Visser interrupted. The alleged curse, Blue Blood corrected, supposedly caused the town to drink to the point of losing control. But that did not allow them to actually drink themselves comatose. For 3 days I could scarcely imagine the damage. But the point is, there is no proof that this was an attack. It may very well be, from Nightlight's perspective, an attempt to a small town to not have to pay for their own damages from a festival that got out of control.
That may be, Fisher noted, but if Ponyville really is nearly destroyed, certainly it's Nightlight's responsibility to render some form of aid. Ah, but you forget, Greengrass said, leaning forward, that Ponyville is the home of Little Moon, and that a few months ago Nightlight's daughter had an episode there. Her whereabouts are still unknown, and Nightlight, I believe, holds Little Moon responsible. Blue Blood and Greengrass both considered this. Trixie Little Moon, student of Princess Luna, element of magic, representative of the Night Court of Ponyville, and a vain, egotistical, abrasive, and above all else, stupid pony. Hey! Trixie is not stupid! I'm not going to tell her what she doesn't agree to. But somehow managed to gain the ear of the princess herself, as well as becoming the living embodiment of one of the elements of harmony, most powerful magic known to Ponydome, and the only weapon known to be of any use to the still-at-large tyrant son. So far, Trixie hadn't yet tried to leverage what she had done to her own benefit. But what if she did? Suppose Corona appeared at a Providence and attack. Would Little Moon not intercede unless offered something in return? If the Providence of a noble she did not like was attacked, would she ignore it? The elements could not, in all likelihood, be removed from their bearers. The 6 mayors had now lived in Ponyville, but as long as Little Moon was their leader, Equestria was not safe from the direct radiations of Corona. The elements needed to be curbed, controlled, contained, and placed under the hoof of a pony who wouldn't abuse their power for personal gain as Luna would. And for the past 6 months, Greengrass had been working towards the goal of being that pony. His nominal alliance with Blue Blood, Fisher, the absent Prudence, were all geared towards moving closer to that goal. Theoretically, they were going to share control, but Greengrass doubted if any of them, except Blue Blood, was stupid enough to see that would be the case. Still, before they could squabble over that matter, they had to gain control of the elements first.
So this is a revenge play by Nightlight,
Fisher said at length.
Or perhaps his own attempt to gain control of the elements.
Blue Blood glanced, apparently not having considered that.
Oh dear.
Indeed, Greengrass said. He couldn't fault Blue Blood for that slip. Nightlight did not normally play the shadow games of the Night Court like this. In fact, was famous for being an upstanding example of nobility. Apparently, exceptions were made where his own family was concerned, however. Now, I'm given to understand that later today, a glance at the clock in the room confirmed that it was, indeed, a matter of later today rather than tomorrow. Lunamoon will be coming to Canterlot in order to make a personal appeal on the part of Ponyville to Nightlight. If Nightlight is going to make any move towards controlling the elements, it'll be then. Therefore, we must work to keep Lunamoon from Nightlight. I also believe we can use that incident in Ponyville towards our advance. 900,000 bits is no small amount of money, but split between the three of us.
Full on with poussons.
Blue Blood nodded. Fisher and Greengrass both stared at him, waiting for him to catch up and realize they were going to cut Poussin loose from their arrangement.
Ah, he said for a moment. Of course, 3 ways then.
Blue Blood's eyes fluttered, and he had to shake his head clear of the latest bout of ineptitude for Blue Blood. Split between us, Greengrass said. I believe we could cover the cost of repairing Ponyville easily enough. Lunamoon will accept to return to her town as a hero, of course. Her nature won't allow her to do otherwise, and she will stay firmly in her debt. As I understand things, the elements are set. Where one go, the other must follow, and the Lunamoon is the leader.
A tiny scheme, Fisher nodded. Keeping Lunamoon from Night Knife may not be so easy, however.
Greengrass offered a grin at that. Oh, he said, I think we'll manage. And in Diabolical Evil Laughter here!